Como lo prometí, acá tenemos a nuestro invitado de hoy, un excelente artista. Ha tocado en dos bandas alemanas y tiene su propia banda. Ha estado con Accept, ha estado con Bonfire y ha estado con Bangalore Tour. Nada más y nada menos que David Reece. David, how are you doing?
Hey, everybody.
¿Cómo
Buenas
está,
noches,
cugino?
Glad to be here. Greetings, Spain.
Yeah. Where are you based in Italy, right?
Yeah, in the north. Yeah, I'm near Milan, about 1 hour.
1 hour Milan. Okay.
Close to Milan. Yeah.
I'm going to be translated. I forgot to tell you before. I'm going to be translated after the answers. Él está a 1 hora de Milán, en Italia. Which way? East, north, west?
El norte.
Norte. Oh, okay.
Norte.
Right by the border, right?
No, not so close. Maybe dos, I forget how you say hours, 2 hours from the border.
2 hours from the border. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I have some friends in Milan. My mother is in north, but west,
Yeah.
in Val d'Aosta.
Ah.
Okay, let's talk about Cacophony of Souls, the new album. Vamos a hablar de Cacophony of Souls, el nuevo álbum que acaba de sacar hace poquito, David. David, tell me about the new album, please.
Cacophony of Souls was written in the fall of 2019. We released March 13th, 2020 on El Puerto Records. I wrote the album, I wrote the title track, Cacophony of Souls, with a guy named Martin Frank from the group Shotgun Revolution. I was in Montana for about 6 months, and I went to a demo studio there. I had the idea, and he sent me some music, so I wrote it, recorded it. Andy Susamil, of course, he and I are back working together as a team. He and I have known each other for over 30 years. While I was in Accept, he was in UDO. Malte Fredrik Birket is the bassist. He also wrote on the record. So actually, it was a very smooth transition. The songs came really fast. Andy mixed and produced the album, and Mats Fleischman mastered it. I think it's a fantastic record. The results have been great. The response, the media. Unfortunately, we'll talk about COVID because my tour started the 13th of March, and that was release day. Of course, that was canceled. We lost about 35 shows. But we'd also had another 30 we were working on, so they were.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, well, the frustrating part was my wife and I were in bed. She works for the government in Italy, and we had a warning, I think, the Saturday before the release that weekend, that the possibility of a total lockdown was coming to the north region of Italy, Sommo Lombardo. And I think in about 2 hours, she tapped me and said, "Oh my God, we can't leave the country." So from that Saturday, I spent every day trying to salvage a way to get into Germany for my release show. It became impossible. And every show after that started to fall off. And I was getting emails saying, just hold on. It was utter madness because I didn't know if I could leave the country, if I could, if it was going to cost money, if I had to quarantine. So then, of course, all the other shows, within 2 weeks, everybody knew it was off, 2020. And I tried to save some shows in Spain for the fall. We were very optimistic about Barcelona and Madrid and some other cities. And don't worry, it'll be fine. And then I think maybe August, I started getting dangerous emails like, "Oh my God, I don't know. Let's push it to December." And I said, okay. And now we have another lockdown here in my village. I'm only allowed, to travel in my area, and so we're locked down again. So basically all of 2020 is lost. So we're trying to move everything to next year.
Bueno, le pregunté acerca del nuevo disco, Cacophony of Souls. La producción ha sido fantástica, la respuesta ha sido impresionante hasta ahora. El disco salió justo antes del encierro, por lo cual él estaba ya viviendo en Italia con su esposa, que es italiana. Ella trabaja en el gobierno italiano. Y bueno, todos los proyectos, como nos ha pasado a todos, han sido, en especial a los músicos, han sido truncos desde el vamos. Él tenía pensado, bueno, empezó a tratar de ver si podía llegar a hacer alguna que otra fecha en Alemania. Se fue cerrando todo, después España. En España ya para agosto, y en agosto para fin de año, para ahora, y empezaron a caerle notificaciones, emails que le decían que vamos a tener que posponer, y eso fue antes de la segunda ronda, y con la segunda ronda obviamente ya el 2020 se perdió. Pero bueno, el disco han participado los músicos que él mencionó en todo lo que es la producción. How can you describe the sound of the album? ¿Cómo puedes describir el sonido del álbum?
I intentionally, well, before Cacophony of Souls, I had another solo album the year before called Resilient
Resilient
Heart.
Heart.
And that had still some of the elements of my past, a little bit of a blues hard rock edge to it. I was leaning more to a modern metal sound again because my fans were starting to say, hey, we'd love to hear something like Eat the Heat again. So I had a direct idea that Cacophony of Souls should be more metal, go back to where I come from, because Eat the Heat opened the doors and given me the opportunity to speak with people like you and gave my name a worldwide recognition. So I intentionally set out to write a heavy modern rock album, metal, more metal than Resilient Heart or past stuff I've done. And I think I achieved it. We worked on the modern guitar sounds. Our drummer is very aggressive. He comes from he's younger, so he grew up with the more heavy bands. My bass player, Malte Fredrik Beckett, is a big Megadeth fan, Metallica. He comes from that. He's a few years younger than me. So he brought the youth into the energy that we needed. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, bueno, el sonido es un poquito, bueno, el disco anterior, Resilient Hearts, que es su disco solista, quedaron cosas pendientes y él las pudo llegar a plasmar acá en este disco. Los fanáticos le decían que les gustaría un poquito ese sonido bien duro, metal de Eat the Hits. Entonces, un poco trajo ese sonido a lo que es Cacophony of Souls, pero aparte, bueno, sus músicos son un poquito más jóvenes, y por ejemplo el bajista es bastante fanático de Megadeth y Metallica, entonces aportó ese sonido un poquito más actual de las nuevas generaciones a lo que es el sonido particular que tiene este disco. How can you tell me about Resilient Hearts? How was the production of that? ¿Qué me puedes decir un poquito de la producción del disco anterior?
I was signed to a different label at the time, and I originally wanted Andy Susamil to produce it, but political powers involved kind of pushed me into working with another artist, like one of the guitar players. The vocals were done with Mario Percadani here in
Mario
my
Percudani.
area. Yeah, from Hardline. He owns Tenzin Studios, Tenzin Music School. He's a brilliant vocal producer. I find it, I used to do my own recordings, and I'm not very good with the computer and all the Pro Tools. And
No?
honestly, when you're singing, you think what you did as a performance is great, but typically it's not. Singers have a way of believing in themselves more than actually having somebody behind the glass really believe the presentation.
Oh.
So a guy like Mario Percadani brings out that extra in me. Plus, he's also fantastic with vocal harmonies. He's got a wonderful ear, and he's also a great singer, besides being a great guitar player. So I recorded all the vocals for Resilient Heart here in Italy. Cacophony of Souls, I had, like I said, sung a few of the songs in Montana.
Montana, yeah, I forgot to translate that.
Right. I'm
grabando en
based from
Montana.
Montana originally, and then I married an Italian woman, the love of my life, and I moved to Italy. But I had done a few of the demos there, which we kept for the record. I was in Bulgaria at the end of 2019, I think September, doing some live shows for a metal band called John Steele. I've done quite a few gigs with them. And I actually I did their new album just a few months ago. I don't know when it's coming out, but I flew from Bulgaria to Andy's home studio, and we proceeded to finish all the other vocals with Cacophony of Souls. Andy also is a phenomenal singer and guitar player. And like I say, if you don't have that outside energy telling you, sell me the song, you're not going to sell the song.
Right.
Very few people, maybe Freddie Mercury and those guys, could do it alone, but the outside ears are very helpful.
Le pregunté un poquito del disco anterior y estaba hablando de que él canta y hay muchas cosas que los cantantes creen que salen perfectas, tienen esa especie de idea de que cantan perfecto, pero a veces el que venga alguien de afuera y pueda mejorar esto o darle otro balance desde afuera es impresionante y mejora mucho la calidad del producto final. Y Mario Percudani, aparte de ser un excelente guitarrista y un excelente vocalista, es una excelente persona como para hacer esa labor que David necesitaba, para que su voz realmente suene perfecto y no como él creía que por ahí estaba fantástico, pero desde afuera hay muchas cosas que se pueden ver y se pueden incluso mejorar. También el trabajo junto a Andy ha ayudado a que este disco obviamente sea tan bueno como el último disco, que es Cacophony, y de esa manera él estuvo haciendo unos shows en Bulgaria con una banda, con John Steele, right? Con John Steele, que están por sacar un disco donde David ha participado también. Entonces ahí de Bulgaria, bueno, estuvo también grabando lo que es Cacophony en Montana, que ahí le dije que no lo traduje, y ahí se me mezcló todo. Let me tell you that it's not easy to remember what you said, translate it, be ready for the next question, and keep the dynamic, a good dynamic in the conversation. So
Comprendo.
I'm sorry for the people when I translate vaguely what you said. Still, they can watch it, if you speak English, you can watch it on YouTube afterwards, after it's going live. Así que bueno, si lo pueden, también les digo que es difícil traducir y estar pendiente de lo que dice y todo. También pueden ver de repente esto después con subtítulos al español en YouTube. You mentioned something about, I'm going to talk about this later. I would like to know your opinion. Did you listen Power Up from AC/DC? ¿Has escuchado Power Up de AC/DC by any chance?
The new album?
Yeah.
I have, yes.
What do you think about it? ¿Qué piensas?
Fantastic. I listened to the track that's dedicated to Malcolm today. I forgot the title, something in the midst. Fantastic song. Not many people know that Malcolm Young was the boss of AC/DC. He was the band leader. And I believe he wrote the riff Back in Black, a lot of the classics, Thunderstruck. He wrote a lot of that stuff and would hand it to Angus and say, now put the Angus Young tricks to it. Yeah. I think they've come back to form. I'm happy to see the band as a unit again. I mean, Axl Rose did a great job. That's an incredible thing to say. You're in the two largest bands in the world, Guns N' Roses and AC/DC. And if you can do that, that just proves the power of Axl Rose. He has what we say in English, the it factor. He has it. Watching interviews with Angus saying, he knew Axl and said, well, I think he can do this, because Brian Johnson had lost his hearing and was having a lot of problems. But I think what I read, which makes the album more personal to me, was they all kind of met at the funeral. and we're hugging each other. And, you know, Angus called everybody and said, hey, you want to do it again. And I think the energy is there. So far, I really, really enjoy the album. I've always loved the band. I mean, amazing band. I mean, they've done it so long, and
yeah.
the image, the sound, the radio quality. I mean, it's rock and roll, bare bones.
Bueno, el disco lo escuché, está fantástico todo lo que han hecho, que haya vuelto Brian Johnson a la banda. Malcolm era el jefe de la banda y él es realmente el que le ponía el sonido de la banda, lo cual coincido 100%. Pero bueno, hoy en día sigue con Angus y el hecho de lo que han hecho con Power Up es algo impresionante, que la banda suene tan fuerte y tan potente. El hecho de que haya vuelto su segundo cantante, incluso la gira que han hecho con Axl Rose fue impresionante a opinión de David, a pesar de que estar en dos bandas como Guns N' Roses, en las dos bandas más grandes como Guns N' Roses y AC/DC, significa que hay que ser un buen cantante. Y bueno, el hecho de que regrese Brian es algo que es más que positivo, y tener a AC/DC de vuelta acá es algo que es impresionante. What do you think? You mentioned about Malcolm. Has mencionado de Malcolm. I felt that he was the sound of AC/DC. Angus was more the theatrical side of the band, right? But what do you think without Malcolm continue with AC/DC?
It's kind of like Judas Priest, you know, with Andy Sneap. You see Glenn walk on stage, play 3 songs. It's heartbreaking in a way. It's not the original lineup, but you know, we're all human beings. Lineups change, people die, people get fired, people quit. But that look that Malcolm had standing his ground with the rhythm guitar, and his rhythm playing was second to none. I think my second rhythm player that I love the most is Brad Whitford from Aerosmith. I mean, he just stays there and lays it down. But you know, when they all walk up together, you know, the bass player and Malcolm would walk up to the microphone and then walk back to the back line. They had this system while Angus was running everywhere. His rhythm guitar playing is missed. And one thing, I think a lot of these riffs, excuse me, that you hear were already written by Malcolm before he started to slip away. But yeah, there's that missing element in a sense, but I admire the band for carrying on, and it's another young brother. So Angus has another brother on stage, so it's family. Yeah. I mean, I heard Brian Johnson say the other day, you know, God bless his cotton socks, Malcolm. We miss you, Mal. But they'll carry on, and I think they'll do fine, you know.
Bueno, le pregunté cómo era tener a AC/DC sin Malcolm Young, porque Malcolm básicamente es lo que le daba el sonido a la banda, y Angus es más que nada el que hace la parte teatral del grupo, y dice que, bueno, que el hecho de que siga estando otro Young en la banda haciendo la parte rítmica. Malcolm ha estado, él se acercaba al micrófono y se alejaba mientras el otro corría por todos lados. Entonces, sí, obviamente no es la alineación principal, pero dentro de todo, Malcolm ha escrito parte de lo que está sonando en este disco antes de que pierda su capacidad mental, y eso le da un poco también de fuerza a este disco. El sonido está fantástico, como lo habíamos mencionado. Y bueno, es como hizo una comparación con Judas Priest, donde, bueno, Glenn hoy por hoy casi no puede tocar, o en los conciertos que ha tocado últimamente ha estado en un par de canciones, entonces eso le da, es difícil continuar con una banda así, pero la gente se queda fuera de la banda, deja la agrupación o muere, y eso es parte de la vida, y las bandas continúan. You have the Indoor Summer in 2021, the festival, right? Are you going to be participating on that, right?
Yeah, in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan now.
That's the plan. Is the first album you're going to have? I mean, the first concert you wanna make so
The
far?
first confirmation that I have, besides Hamburg, we're doing a festival. Well, I'll
Oh,
perform some of Cacophony, and I've just finished a new album now, but we're gonna kind of do a
oh,
special showcase of Bangalore Choir on Target. That's in September as well, the first week, and then I think Barcelona is the second week. That's the
okay.
only thing confirmed right now. I have so many shows floating throughout Europe. Everybody's terrified to commit and make deposits, and
Yeah,
I mean, even my friend on this T-shirt, Jason Morris, is a
Jason Murray.
judo instructor. I mean, he's got a judo school in America. He can't even work. I mean, that's full contact. I mean, it's affected everybody,
Yeah, yeah, it is.
everything. So
Le preguntaba bueno, tiene confirmado un festival en Barcelona para el indoor en verano del 2021. Tiene otro confirmado en Hamburg, en Alemania también para el año que viene. Y bueno, está trabajando en un nuevo disco de Bangalore Choir, que encima va a ser un showcase en septiembre del año que viene. Esto está confirmado, pero el tema es que tiene un montón de cosas dando vueltas, que la gente tiene mucho miedo de comprometerse y después no poder cumplir por estos cierres que están pasando. Entonces, si fuera obviamente David estaría tocando por todos lados, en Europa al menos, pero por ahora simplemente tiene que esperar a ver qué pasa con la pandemia. You mentioned about the new album from Bangalore Choir.
no, David Reese solo.
Oh, the David Reece solo. I
Yeah.
misunderstood. Sorry.
No. We're going to perform the Bangalore Choir Show in Hamburg. Will be specifically on Target. We'll showcase probably 80% of that record live, and then I'll play some of my solo material as well from Brazilian Cacophony and this new album, which I haven't titled yet. So,
Okay.
we're going to headline on the Friday night. Lee Aaron will be there. I mean, Coney Hatch, many bands. So it should be a great festival. So I'm excited about it. I did that one time at Firefest in 2010. We got the three of the original members from Bangalore Choir, and we played a
Really? Look at this.
yeah, you got the original.
And I think you sent me this one.
Yeah, that's what is that one? Cadence, yeah.
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 Cadence. Yeah.
That was after the Firefest show in 2010. We decided to put the band back together, but
I think
guys just weren't into it.
You were in Arizona, right? When you released this one?
No. Some of the guys were in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Germany at the time.
Oh, you already live in Germany. Okay.
Yeah, I was living in near the Cologne area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my memory is complicated now trying to translate.
No problem. I'm the same. I've been everywhere. So.
Well, I know you from here. I didn't know your music of Accept until I met you. I mean, I met your music from Bangalore Choir, and then I realized you were part of Accept.
Yeah.
And amazing albums. Amazing music you play. And what do you remember from your days as a lead singer of Accept?
It's a very long story. I was in Los Angeles, and I was trying to make it like everyone else, and I was homeless, like many other people.
You were what?
Homeless.
Homeless. Oh.
Yeah, I was sleeping on people's couches. Sometimes I would sneak into open cars and sleep on the back seat.
Wow.
It was a hard life. Tried to live the rock and roll lifestyle. Nothing really happened for me then. It was 1980, I think 86 and 87, 86. And while I was there, I met Mitch Perry from the band Talus, and he also played with Michael Schenker, and he's solo now. Mm-hmm. And he's liked my voice, and we went into a studio and recorded a demo. At the time, I was staying at a woman's house named Lucy Forbes, and I just decided one day, I'm finished. I can't do this anymore, and I just left, and I moved to Colorado. You want to translate that?
Yeah.
I get to the next?
Thank you. Gracias. Bueno, En el año 86 estaba en Los Ángeles viviendo, no tenía casa, vivía en la calle, vivía donde podía meterme en los autos, en casas de amigos, y bueno, no la estaba pasando muy bien, tratando de obtener un estilo de vida rockero, y ahí conocí a Mitch Perry, que anda por acá en Los Ángeles todavía, y que ha trabajado con Talas y con Michael Schenker. Grabamos unos demos, y después me cansé de todo esto y me moví a Colorado, donde conocí a una chica llamada Lucy. It was probably the best translation that I did so far in this interview.
We'll do it this way so it's easier for you. So, okay, so I go to Colorado and I'm working the construction field, and I pretty much said enough of music, I'll never make it. And I had left the cassette with Lucy. Dieter Dierks, the producer of Scorpions, flew to Los Angeles for business for the Scorpions. And they had another singer named Robert Armitage for a while, Accept, English guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to see Lucy and said, Lucy, I need a singer for Accept. Do you know anybody? And she said, I know this guy, and handed my cassette, 4 songs. He put it in and he said, that's the voice I need. Where is he? She said, I don't know. He left. I think he's in Colorado. Okay. I finished what happened. About maybe 3 months after I'd been in Colorado, the telephone rang. Wolf Hoffman. You want to translate?
Ok, entonces estaba en Colorado, el productor de Scorpions, Dirk, viaja a Los Ángeles buscando nuevo cantante para Accept. Había un tal Robert tocando en la banda en ese momento y bueno, se cruza con Lucy. Lucy le dice, estoy buscando un cantante para reemplazo para Accept. Y dice, mira, lo único que conozco es esta persona, y le dio el demo de 4 temas que había grabado David unos 3 meses antes, y lo llaman en Colorado. What city in Colorado? Denver?
Woodland Park, a
Woodland
small
Park.
mountain village in the middle of nowhere. I mean, in the mountains. I mean, it was snowing so bad you couldn't even leave the house when he called. It was horrible.
Wow. Bueno, estaba en un pueblo en el medio de la nada, con nieve, lo llaman, ni podía salir de la casa. Y bueno, lo llaman para ver si quería unirse a Accept, y ahora vamos a continuar. You can continue.
Okay, so of course the phone rings. It's Wolf Hoffman, and I don't believe it's him. I used to cover some Accept songs in the club days, of course, in the early 80s, late 70s. And he asked me if I would be interested in an audition, and I said, duh, okay, of course. I can buy you a plane ticket. Can you come tomorrow? I'm like, whoa. So maybe 1 week later, I was on an airplane from a small little village in Colorado, flying to Dusseldorf. And then I landed, and there was Wolf and Peter and Stefan Kaufmann. And then we began. We went immediately to work, the German way, right into the studio the next day. I think the song was Turn the Wheel Around. Peter plugged in the machine, put a microphone in front of me, and said, this is the title. These are some of the ideas. Sing something. What? Oh, sing something? What? I had jet lag. I was out of my mind. I was nervous. And we spent the whole day recording. And I think we did Turn the Wheel Around demo that day.
Turn the Wheel Around.
Yeah.
Wow. Ok, entonces lo llama Hoffman, el guitarrista de Accept, le dice, mira, te escuchamos, nos gustaría, te mando un pasaje de avión, te venís mañana. Y estaba trabajando en construcción, había dejado el tema de la música totalmente, ya había perdido la fe en la música. Y le dice, hey, un momento, a ver, déjame que me acomode. Y a la semana se fue a Alemania, y al estilo alemán, al día siguiente, bueno, se conocieron, fue instantáneo la magia de alguna manera, la conexión que se armó con la banda, con Stefan, que estaba en ese momento, supongo, en la batería. Y, y bueno, empezaron a grabar al día siguiente, grabaron la primera canción, ya la tenían preparada, le dijeron, a ver, canta algo con respecto a la música que tenían, y lo agarraron de sorpresa. Pero bueno, al final grabaron lo que es la primera canción. The name of the song is
Turn the Wheel Around.
Turn the Wheel Around, okay? Turn the Wheel Around. And that's it. That's the story, or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the final audition it was about a 6-week process, and
Oh,
we would write and record, and they would all listen later in the evening, and then the final audition was a live show in Cologne, unannounced. They only said Europe's second largest metal band, and of course the rumors were all over Germany and Europe that they had a new singer. So of course it was sold out. I was terrified, but I did well that night, and the next morning I was the official new singer.
wow. Bueno, entre las audiciones se demoraron como 6 semanas. La audición final fue en Cologne. Cologne is France, right?
Cologne, well, Köln, it's a very big German city. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was confused, sorry.
No problem.
Geography 0, -10. Entonces se anuncia como la segunda banda más popular, más conocida de Europa. No se dijo el nombre y se generó expectativa. Toda Alemania estaba revolucionada y lógicamente era Accept con un nuevo cantante y él estaba completamente aterrado de cantar. Imagínense pasar de estar en un pueblito en Colorado a cantar para una enorme audiencia. Lo tenía preocupado, pero cantó y ya después al día siguiente ya quedó como el cantante oficial de Accept. Le voy a preguntar un poquito cómo ve a la banda hoy con solo Hoffman en la guitarra. How do you see the band nowadays, since it's just one original member of the band?
I respect the history of the band. It's kind of the Wolf Hoffman show, in my opinion. A lot of great people have left. I respect that they continue. I'm not really a fan. I admire them, but it's not like I look at AC/DC,
Right.
But Accept is Accept, but it's really just Wolf now. Very strange, but they carry on, and I wish everybody success. I mean, I have no right to criticize anybody.
Yeah.
Because people criticize me, so
They do?
It's just, of course. I mean, it's a small world, and everyone knows everyone, and I hope it works for them. It seems to be going well. I mean, they've had Mark for 4 or 5 albums now, I think.
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
Big tours. And they have a new album coming out, so I wish them luck.
Yeah. Bueno, le pregunté un poquito cómo ve a la banda con solo Wolf como miembro original y como miembro de la alineación clásica, y dice, mira, respeto lo que hacen, es básicamente un show, una banda donde sería la banda de Wolf, más que nada, a pesar de que tiene a Mark por tantos años, ya grabaron 5 o 6 discos, están grabando un disco nuevo, les deseo suerte, respeto lo que están haciendo, no soy nadie para criticar, a mí me critican todo el tiempo, pero bueno, no soy muy fanático de lo que están haciendo ahora, a pesar de que también admiro lo que están haciendo, pero no es lo ideal, no es lo que más aprecio de lo que está pasando ahora, a pesar de que la banda tuvo sus buenos momentos, eso lo agregué yo. It's funny, right? Because you are an American singer and you ended singing in 2 German bands. Es divertido que sos un cantante de Estados Unidos y has terminado cantando en 2 bandas. Is a coincidence, or it was
well, I'm
something led to
sure,
something?
When you're in a band as big as Accept, everybody knows you. And when I went back to California after Accept, I had an offer from every record company in California for Bangalore Choir. I mean, they were knocking my door down, so I settled with Giant Warner Brothers. So my name was there, and then multiple side projects, different albums, and one day the phone rang and it was Hans Ziller, and he asked me. Michael Voss put us in contact. I knew Michael. I had done a song for the Voices of Rock with Michael Voss, and he put us in contact, and we went out and played in a club band called Easy Living, Hans and I. And then he told me he was going to buy the Bonfire name and asked me to sing for Bonfire. And I said, okay. Yeah, it was strange, you know, I mean, but I have a very solid connection to the German metal scene and the public there because of Accept, you know.
Cuando estaba, bueno, después de volverme a California, imagínense que después de haber estado en una banda como Accept tan famosa, todas las discográficas querían tenerme. Con Bangalore Choir me golpeaban la puerta y cualquier discográfica quería firmar conmigo en ese momento. Yo estaba en una buena situación de popularidad, entonces, bueno, Michael Voss se acercó también a mí y me propuso ser parte de Bonfire, lo cual lógicamente acepté porque ya tenía bastante presencia en Alemania, lo cual terminó siendo parte de esa banda. And you work on Glorious album. How was those times in Bonfire? I think it froze, right?
Yeah, okay, you're back
Let's
now.
go back again.
Okay.
I was asking you, how was those times when you recorded Glorious, the album from Bonfire?
Oh, it's a great album. There was a healthy attitude between Hans and I, but it went bad after a while. But I recorded the vocals with Ellie Del Vecchio in Italy.
Alessandro Del Vecchio?
I wrote a lot of the lyric. I think it's a very strong album. It sold incredibly well. Whitesnake had just done the Deep Purple covers album, and we were right behind them in the charts. It was a huge selling album for us. Then I did an album called Tales and Pearls. I did covers of the old Bonfire songs about a year later, 2 years later. But that was towards the end of my time with them. But I think the album Glorious is a great album. It's a glorious album. Some really great rock songs on there. And I'm very proud of it. Very successful for me.
Estoy muy orgulloso de ese disco, Glorious, de Bonfire, porque es un excelente álbum. En ese momento, en los rankings de música, estábamos ahí junto a Whitesnake, que había hecho el disco Deep Purple Record. Y bueno, fueron excelentes épocas donde he grabado ese disco. Le voy a preguntar de si hay alguna posible reunión con Bangalore Choir. There's any chance to reunion of Bangalore Choir? I know two of the guys are living here in LA, right?
One lives in New Mexico. One lives in Nevada.
Oh, they move out.
You know, those guys never really were in the business as much as me, because after Accept, I'd seen a lot. And they came from small towns, and frankly, they hate the business side of rock and roll. And they said, I don't want this. And it's tragic because Kurt Mitchell is such a brilliant guitar player and singer. I mean, he is one of the top 10 guitar players in the world, in my opinion. He's an amazing talent. And he just personally does not like the business and doesn't want to be ripped off, you know, have money stolen from him. It's a tough business. You have to have very thick skin to play this game. And Curtis just said, I'm done. I want out. So he teaches guitar at home and he's happy.
Ok. No va a haber reunión al menos con la formación original de Bangalore Choir. Kurt está haciendo clases de guitarra y no le interesa estar en el negocio y se cansó de que se lo jodan todo el tiempo, así que es un excelente guitarrista, para mí está entre los mejores 10 y es impresionante la manera que toca, pero no está interesado en seguir en el negocio. How people can reach you? ¿Cómo te pueden contactar, David?
David Reece Official Facebook, davidreeceofficial.info is my rock and roll page. Okay. I have the rock and roll family photos there, merchandise, all my videos. It's growing huge. Instagram. I'm pretty active. If you write me, I answer immediately. Okay. I do. You know, I like to talk to the fans and just keep things moving, you know.
This is admirable because Yeah, I mean,
Without the fans, you're nothing. Without
yeah,
people,
yeah,
you have to talk to the people that believe in you. I mean, you have to stay with them.
yeah, yeah. I consider myself a fan of your music,
Oh,
especially the
thank you.
Bangalore choir. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a great place. And everybody in Europe loved that album. We were told that nobody cared. So go get a normal job and quit playing rock and roll because rock and roll is dead. If I knew that Bangalore Choir was as big as I realized, I would have put the band on an airplane and gone to Europe and just played clubs and kept alive. I mean, but we were led to believe that the death of rock and roll had come. But when I went to
Mm.
England to do Firefest, it was unbelievable. They were singing every word. They knew every song. Where have you been? Oh my God, and we did a live album that night on stage on Target. I mean, I was shocked.
Wow,
It's sad. It's sad, if you believe these people that run your life and you don't do the research, you never know.
you never know. Yeah. Bueno, le estaba preguntando de cómo la gente lo podía contactar, él escribe a todos, él se mantiene en contacto con los fans, después se frizó un poquito y empezó habló un poquito más de Bangalore Choir, lo habían convencido de que la banda no era tan popular, pero en realidad lo era. Después cuando tocó en el Firefest, la gente cantando todo el disco, le impresionó como la popularidad que había conseguido la banda en su momento le habían dicho que el rock estaba muerto y que no iban a llegar a ninguna parte. David, thank you for the interview. I appreciate that. There's anything you would like to share with your fans? ¿Algo más que quieras decir?
Yeah, I actually have a few things I'd like to mention.
Please.
COVID, I'm not able to work very much, but I've been very lucky because I've done a lot of demo work, I've done some albums. I did the John Steele album. I did the new Wicked Sensation album, which is fabulous. So is John Steele. I did some songs with Christian Tola. I worked with Christian Betzendorf, Stefan Georg, and I'm also doing an album with Steve Rosen and Jimmy Waldo from Alcatraz right now,
Oh,
rock album. And I've got 14 songs recorded for my next solo album, which I'm not sure of the release date yet. We're in that negotiation process. Also, another special surprise, I'm working with Roland Grapow and Herman Frank from Accept, and we're making a record.
no kidding.
A very heavy album will be out next year sometime with Herman Frank, David Reese, and Roland Grapow. It's really special. I'm very excited. So there's some great things coming. So go to my website and I'll be posting information soon. But this new David Reese solo album, I haven't got a title figured out in my head. If you really like Cacophony of Souls, this album will blow your mind. It's unbelievable. And I've got some
Wow.
special guests, secret special guests playing guitars on it
Oh,
that I will
really?
announce later.
Anyone that cannot be that secret by any chance?
Huh?
Anyone that you can mention that is not going to be that secret?
Roland Grapow does a special guest solo on the
Okay.
album, and I've got some phone calls out to some other famous guitar players. Andy Susamil, of course, will do the majority of the solos because he's brilliant, one of the greatest in the world. But I thought, you know what? I'm working with these other guys. People like when you guest with other people. Roland and Herman Frank are famous on their own. They have huge fan bases and they're great people. So I said, come on in and play some solos, and no problem. I actually wrote a song with Roland for the new solo album. He contributed some of the songwriting with Jimmy Waldo from Alcatraz is working with me. Jimmy will play keyboards on my new solo album too. We're gonna do some really heavy, crunchy, mysterious sounds, to kind of make it a little more modern metal. But yeah, there's a lot going on in David Reese world.
Wow. Bueno, nos contaba de que está súper ocupado a pesar de que no está tocando. Ya tiene las 14 canciones para su próximo disco, donde va a participar Roland Grapow. Aparte, bueno, Jimmy Waldo también, de Alcatraz. Aparte está trabajando junto a Herman Frank y Roland en un proyecto separado. Herman, conocido por obviamente Accept, y Herman Frank is from Victory, right?
Yes, he's solo, and he's also doing a new Victory album right now.
Yeah. I sometimes I confuse with the names. Yeah, Herman.
Yeah.
Victory is one of my favorites. Herman band.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's a Spanish singer for years. Yeah, Fernando, another great singer. Herman is one of those guitar players that he knows how to write a metal riff. He is fantastic songwriter and guitar player. He's amazing. Great guy too. I love Herman too.
Yeah. Okay, David, thank you very much. Okay, for the interview. Yeah, thank you very much again. And it's freezing. I don't know. Sometimes the connection is complicated from different sides of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be doing TV spots right after this. So thank you again for your time. We're gonna stay in touch. Okay. Hopefully, we're gonna be promoting all your music, whatever you need here. X Plus is all yours. Okay.
Okay. Great.